Hi trader, Tina once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily market recap. If you're new to our channel and this is the first time you're tuning in, we generally ask that you say hello, drop a comment. That comment can be your name, it can be how long you've been trading, it can be your struggles with trading. Just let your presence be known and felt. Drop a comment. Second thing is, if you are a returning member and you're constantly tuned into the station, I want you to drop a comment as well. What value have you derived from listening to us? What can you contribute to the channel? Because again, I think this is a community effort and I want everyone's presence to be felt. So again, if you're tuning in for the first time, let me know something about yourself. And if you're recurring and you have never said anything, but you're just listening from the background, let me know that you're here as well. Now that's out the way, let's jump right into the S&P 500. I usually kick it off with an overall analysis of the entire market, the SPY and the IWM. Again, we're going to kick it off with the SPY. So right now what you're looking at is a daily chart dating back to 2017. So if we've gone over the SPY at nausea, right? Since dating back to October when this initial crash happened, I've been covering the SPY every single day. So I'm going to fast forward and give you the condensed version. The condensed version is since bottoming back in December, late December, the SPY with today's high of what was today's high, right? Oh, wow. I thought we got to 282, right? We clocked in today at 283.31. With today's high, the SPY is up 20%. 20% from December lows in a matter of less than 3 months. Huge move. So we closed at 281.81. And for me, I'm paying attention to, in my opinion, resistance, right? And what did I say yesterday? I said we've tried 1, 2, 3, 4 times to penetrate that 280 to 282 mark to no avail. The 5th time will be the charm. So kind of, sort of, right? It was the charm. We were able to get as high as 283.31, and I don't believe we've seen those highs since dating back to October. So that in itself, that's a milestone in my opinion. Now, what we want to see for this bull market to continue is we want those levels to hold, right? So the next time we get as high as 283 or we surpass 280 to 282, we want it to hold. We don't want it to pull back. We don't want it to dip back. And maybe even consolidate around here. For me, best case scenario would be to consolidate between that 270 and 280 mark. If we can do that, summertime should be fun for the longs. What else do we have? And then we have the IWM daily chart. Since bottoming out back in December, I believe the lows came in at around 125, with the most recent high a few days ago, back in late February of 159.50. The IWM too was up over 20%. I think it clocked in at around 26% in less than 2 months, right? So to me, that is a huge move. And so this pullback here that we recently saw last week, where we had about 5 to 6 straight days of decline, that was to be expected. 1, because we hit resistance, and 2, being up 26% in 2 months is an extreme move. So pullbacks are welcomed. We closed at 155.25, similar to the SPY. And paying attention to IWM resistance, we need to get up there as well. Resistance for the IWM, in my opinion, clocks it at around 158 to 160. Let's see if the IWM will lead this rally back. What else do we have? And then we have ticker BA, Boeing. Daily chart dating back to 2018. So the data that I'm looking at right now or paying attention to is a little over a year old. And so we can say resistance clocks in at around 375. So dating back to January of 2018, we only traded above that resistance area. Although we've traded above it, you can see several trading days. Because it's clustered together, I'm just gonna call it once. We broke out of that area. I'm going to call it one time, and that occurred in October of 2018, so several months ago. Since topping out at 446, the stock has lost north of 100 points within the last 3 days, and that had a lot to do with the recent fatality. One of the Boeing 737 crashed, I think, leaving out of, I want to say it's Ethiopia, don't quote me, but I believe it's one of those countries in Africa. At any rate, so for me, in the analysis that I've done the past 2 days, I indicated that, well, you should get a bounce around that gap fill area, and that gap fill area, we can look at it here, comes in at around $367. We more or less tested those levels the past 3 days. On Monday, we went as low as $365.55. Tuesday, the low clocked in at $368, and today the low clocked in at $363.33. So we went a little bit lower on news that I think now officially all countries have decided to ground the Boeing 737. Canada decided to make that move earlier in the trading day, and I think the United States finally made that move towards the ending of the trading day, hence why you probably saw this sell-off and this dip a little bit lower. But even still hanging out here at $377.50, despite all the bad news that's baked into the stock, it is rather interesting. So I personally wouldn't take a position in this moment right now, just based on, for me, a lot of things needs to be clear, but from a strictly technical point of view, strictly technical perspective, you want to pay attention to that 375 line, right? If we dip below there and have a hard time sort of like getting back above, there might be further decline. So for me, it's a wait and see game with Boeing. Let this play out for a few more weeks to possibly a few more months, in my opinion. What else do we have? And then we have MannKind daily chart. So we closed today at 211. I did a video yesterday and I indicated as long as it can remain above $2, that is bullish for the bulls. The stock has been in an uptrend dating back to December of 2018. So you have, within the last 3 months, the stock actually again ascending up, which is a good thing for the bulls. So we closed here at 211. The candle again signifies that there might be a pullback heading into tomorrow or for the remainder of the week, but we need follow through. So going into tomorrow, just pay attention to today's high and today's low. If we break below today's low, which is $2.02, expect further decline. If you're looking to take a position, again, you know I'm not the hugest fan of penny stocks, but if you're looking to take a position, just pay attention to that $2 mark. The longer it can stay and trade above 2, I think ideally that would be a decent area to go long, but wait and see. What else do we have? And then we have ADT daily chart dating back to February of 2018. Again, the data that we're looking at is about a year old. Stock is off north of 3% on the day. We closed at 638. I did a video on ADT, I want to say on Monday, perhaps even Tuesday, or both days, and I indicated again, the stock seems as though it's going to come down to that $6 level, and we already see that unfolding. Today we went as low as 625. Again, we closed at 638. I would not be surprised, or don't be surprised, to see this in the $6 print, or perhaps even $5. There's a good chance that it's actually going to break momentarily this support here of around $6. Anticipate that. What else do we have? And then we have ticker JD daily chart. So again, if you've been listening to any of my videos, you know that we went long JD when it hit support of around $19 to $20. We're sitting here at $28.13. I've indicated many times over, I like the chart. It is acting very bullish. So if you ask yourself, Tina, when will things get going in JD? I'd say one, things have been going for quite some time. If you look back to December, stock was trading at around $19, sitting here at $28.13. The most recent high clocking in at around $29. The stock is up about 9 to 10 points from its December lows. That's a nice move. But for things to really start to get going, in my opinion, we need to surpass 29, of course, and hit that $30 mark. If we can hit 30 with volume, I can easily see it running to 35. So there's still potential upside, even with the stock sitting here at 28.13, even though the stock is off about 9 to 10 points from its December lows. I like JD. Put it on your watch list. What else do we have? And then we have ticker CRON daily chart off about 1% on the day, closed at 21.14. Again, we got into the stock back in August when it was trading at around 5. I have been bullish on CRON the entire way. Even so, I indicated expect a pullback, right? And it looks like it wants to pull back to the support area of around $18. Let it pull back there. If it can hold that, then I think it's gonna make attempts to retest its most recent high of 25.10 and perhaps even go on to achieve more, or perhaps even go on to just go higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it trading at $30 relatively soon. What else do we have? All right, so we have ticker ROKU, Roku daily chart off about 14%. I believe most of that occurred in after hours. We're sitting here at $60.74. I'm expecting, considering it's down 14% in after hours, I'm expecting that movement to continue into trading tomorrow. Don't be surprised to see this stock trading at around 50. I think it's going to decline back to its original breakout base of around $50 to $50. If you're looking to go long, you might want to consider those levels. What else? And then you have ticker NVCN daily chart dating back to, let's focus in on price action that started around November of 2018. That's a decent amount of data. NVCN off north of 10% on the day, closed at 47 cents. So you want to pay attention to two things. Obviously, the low within that time frame, which comes in at around, I want to say 43 cents. And you want to pay attention to today's low of 45 cents. If we break today's low on volume, I don't even think it needs to be on volume. If we break today's low heading into tomorrow, the remainder of the week, next week, the month, etc., chances are we're going to revisit 43 cents. I know I want to say in late January, I indicated that if you must go long, the ideal spot to go long would be 43 cents. Do I still feel that way? Yes and no. I mean, it hasn't revisited 43 cents that often. I think we did it here. So you might actually get that bounce again. But the simple fact that the rallies once again have been short-lived just tells me there's really no momentum in the stock, hence why I'd be reluctant to go long once it hit 43 cents. But from a risk-reward perspective, if you must go long, that might be the ideal spot. But just again, be careful because the rallies have been short-lived. The third time might not hold, it might actually crash. What else do we have? And then we have ticker SHMP daily chart up about 8.5% on the day, closed at 30 cents. So the move, obviously being up 8 percentage points, being up 8% on the day, is a bullish move. However, the volume is just not there in my opinion. The chart looks relatively bearish. I'd be focused tremendously on obviously today's low, but the most recent February lows of around 22 cents. Expect the stock to revisit that, and if it breaks, I think it can spiral out of control. I wouldn't be surprised to see this trading at 9 to 10 cents in the near future. What else? And then we have ticker BPMX off about 1.5% on the day, closed at 10 cents. And I've done a lot of videos on ticker BPMX. So if you're a recurring listener, or if you've been listening to me even for the past few weeks, you'll know my stance is I do believe that it's going to break that support of around 10 cents, just based on how it's trading now. For me to get bullish on ticker BPMX, it has to move away from this support line of around 10 cents, right? So that means that next week it should be trading at 11 cents. Then it needs to be trading at, let's say, 12 cents the following week, 13, 14 cents, so on and so forth. The fact that it continues to hang out around 10 cents just makes me very bullish again in the shorter term. So I'm expecting it to pull back, but if 10 cents hold, that would be great for the longs. Full disclosure, I am not short. I have no position. What else do we have? And then we have ticker BPTH hourly chart. So I still have this on my radar, despite it being down 11%, closed at 31.12. I don't think that it's quite over as of yet for BPTH. The fact that it's managed to remain around here says a lot. What we need now, obviously, is for it to remain above, let's say, that $20 to $25 mark, right? It needs to trade above that. In addition, we need to start seeing volume pour in. We haven't had that as of yet, minus what we saw last week when the stock just sort of like shot up and was up about 700%, which is a great move. It's kind of hanging out here. It's still on my radar, still on my watch list, because it could potentially run again like it did before. I'm just looking for it to continuously stay above, again, 20 to 25, and I'm looking for a volume to start pouring in. So that's kind of my take on BPTH. Still on my watch list. What else do we have? And we're gonna round it out with ticker GLBS daily chart. So the stock is off hugely the past 2 days. Today we're off about 15%, closed at 593. Today's low clocked in at around 583. You know my stance. Overall, generally speaking, when a stock closes close to the low of the day, that selling usually continues into the following day. So do not be surprised if ticker GLBS sheds a few more points. Ideally, I think you can possibly get a bounce around this gap fill area of around, we can call that $5.34. So if the selling continues tomorrow into Friday, perhaps even next week, I think if you're looking to go long, you might get a bounce around $5.34. And that's my take. Not really into penny stocks, so it's not my quote unquote cup of tea. So that's kind of it. Let's wrap it and round it out there. Tina once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I'd like for you to do 3 things for me. 1, comment. Are you in any of the stocks that I've mentioned before? Do you agree with my analysis? Not everyone does. Do you disagree with my analysis? Why? If you're new here, let me know that you're new here. How long have you been trading? If you are a returning listener and viewer, let me know that. Just say hello. I'm trying to build a community here. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if you want to hear more videos like this, head on over to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I do videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Whenever the stock market is open, I will do a video. If you're subscribed, if notifications are turned on, this ensures that you will not miss any of my videos. And lastly, if you would like to hear more about the stock market, if you would like to hear more about what this 15, 16, 17, it's been a long time, stock market veteran has learned, then head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support.